Edge at 11 starts now.
Pushed, and my brother like flipped his hands to move the push away, and he hit both of us in the same motion. I'm very disappointed, especially as a person that wanted to go into law enforcement.
You've heard of police using stop and frisk, but these young men complain that their encounter with police was more like stop and fight. It's a story you'll see only on The Edge tonight. These young men are charged with assault, but they say they are the real victims. So who's right? Who's wrong? Fox News' Andre Isom live on Detroit's east side with the video so you can judge for yourself. Andre.
Well, first let me say this. Detroit police have reviewed this video. They have investigated this case. They have made their decision. But the young men who were arrested want everyone to see this video because they say, like you said, Huel, they did nothing wrong.
They say trouble finds you, and at that day, trouble found me.
20-year-old Tywan Mitchell and his big brother, 26-year-old Navon Moore, went to Grandy's Coney Island back in the month of May around midnight. This cannot be proven, but Mitchell says they were being profiled by two Detroit cops in this cruiser, who he claims were tailing them close behind.
I have no record, so I wasn't really worried. They pulled in behind us. I got kind of nervous, but then they backed away, so I thought everything was cool.
You see in this surveillance video, the two brothers are by the counter, and the officers come in.
They asked me what did I say to them in the parking lot. I didn't say anything. I was talking to my brother, and I just said, wow, that's crazy. They almost hit my car. And me and my brother said, okay, and turned around. We thought that was the end of it.
But it was not over. Shortly after, one of the officers asked the guys for ID.
I said, well, what are you going to do with my ID? Please, can you tell me what you're going to do with my ID? And, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Name one thing that we did wrong in this Coney Island.
The brothers were yelling, insisting on getting answers to why they were being questioned by the cops, saying they know their rights because one is in college for criminal justice, the other studying law. Then, all of a sudden.
And pushed, and my brother like flipped his hands to move the push away, and he hit both of us in the same motion.
He socked both of them momentarily, bang, bang, in the jaw.
Then it was on. The boys in blue and the brothers were brawling.
It was a natural reaction. When he hit me, I hit back. I hit him about 3 times, and I immediately stopped. I kind of like curled up a little bit.
We're not saying they did not fight the officers. What we're saying is there was no probable cause.
When they found the two young men who were smart, two young men who were college students, when they challenged them, I think they got angry and they decided to hit them. That is the textbook explanation of police brutality.
Well, this is what DPD tells Fox 2 News. When the incident happened, the officers admitted that they used force and a command-level investigation was conducted. The officers alleged that when they were investigating inside the Coney Island, one of the officers extended his hand and asked one of the young men to step back. But that young man slapped the officer's hand. At that point, the police officers responded with force. After reviewing the video and interviewing the suspects, the use of force was deemed appropriate and reasonable by the department.
They shouldn't have profiled us, and if anything, they shouldn't have got physical with us, because we didn't expect that. We weren't going to get physical with them. We're not crazy. We're not going to just hit cops. We're not going to just hit anyone. So why would you hit us? Never been in trouble, and I don't want them to think that we're bad people because we hit the cops back. Actually, I want them to look at us as the good people, I don't think I would do anything differently. I just feel bad because it's no telling how many other people have been in this type of situation. I'm thankful that mine was on camera and everybody can see it. I'm very disappointed, especially as a person that wanted to go into law enforcement. Changed my whole perspective, but actually that just gave me that drive to do it more.
Well, DPD wanted to point out that when you slap away or move away an officer's hand, that is assaulting a police officer, which is a crime. Now, a police source I talked with tonight who works with those two officers in the video say they are both good cops, good street officers. Now, this situation did escalate. I think everyone can agree to that. The two young men say, though, they did not start any of this. They just reacted. And again, they contend they did nothing wrong that night. And you only heard from one of the brothers because the other's back in Texas, back in college. Huel.
Andrea, from that video, I don't want to say who's right and who's wrong here. I think a jury or a court may have to make the final decision on that. But I do want to know about the explanation for why the officers confronted the young men at that restaurant in the first place. Why?
Okay, I think, and that's what we've asked on both sides of this, and both sides have a different story. DPD tells me this is what the officers tell them, that when they were in the parking lot, the two young men made a grim expression, some kind of negative expression. When they went inside, the officers asked them about what happened out in the parking lot, and they say the young men were unruly and aggressive. Though the young men say the tape and the audio disproves that. So you have two very different stories, and both of them say they did the right thing.
Well, let's hope somehow this will be resolved. I can remember former Police Chief Isaiah McKinnon telling me that he was beaten when he was 16 years old by a Detroit police officer. But instead of getting mad, he went into law enforcement and tried to change the DPD from the inside. So who knows?
And that's what Mr. Mitchell wants to do. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Andrea, thank you.